how do drugs work on your body? So, I really don't know about most drugs. I know about the drugs that I research. And what I've come to understand is that we are the drugs that we are doing. It's us. So, there's been this new psychedelic research being done on LSD to kind of see how LSD works. And what they're suggesting is that LSD basically attaches to the brain and attaches to the receptors, and it makes your body release certain things. So the fact that LSD itself might not have an effect, but if you take LSD and you attach it to us, we take it, our brain, because our brain naturally produces molecules like serotonin, our brain produces 5-MeO-DMT, DMT, the lungs produce DMT, like our body produces psychedelic drugs. We are these psychedelic drugs that the drugs are working on. They're only working because we are the drugs. The human body is like a filter that filters out the real world. So when you take substances, your brain chemistry is changed. And by changing your brain chemistry, you're literally able to perceive the world in a different way. And that's all drugs do, is they attach to the brain, and maybe one drug makes you release a little dopamine, but it works on the D1 receptor, D2, but it works on 5-HT2A, 5-HT2B, 5-H whatever. But those effects make your body release certain things, whether it's glutamate, whether it's serotonin, whether it's 5-MeO-DMT or N-dimethyltryptamine or melatonin or oxytocin, or all of these things that your body can fluctuate. And depending on how much it fluctuates depends on the psychedelic drug or the drug effect. So THC in cannabis has a certain effect because it attaches to the cannabinoid system, which then our brain releases certain molecules based on that molecule, like THC. So our body releases body hormones, because body hormones are just drugs, natural drugs that we create. So that's all this is learning how to hack your chemistry of your brain and your body, understanding what the world actually is, that it is based on your perceptions of it, and you can change your perceptions of it by taking substances, and you can expand your consciousness and expand your awareness and your ability to intake information and to hold information and to speak information and to, this is what's possible with drugs and substances. And humans are just in the basics of understanding this, because this is brand new science to understand that LSD does not actually have necessarily a drug effect, that the LSD effect is the LSD molecule attaches to us, and our body releases 5-MeO-DMT, a little bit of DMT, a little bit of dopamine, a little bit of this, a little bit of serotonin, and that mixed together is the LSD effect that we know. And yeah, like I said, this is brand new science, but I just came across this science, and it made me realize that, okay, scientists are getting close to understanding, the world's getting closer to understanding that the human experience is a hackable experience, and your happiness, your depression, your anxiety, your this, your that, these are all hackable things that you can learn how to hack, because you are a quantum computer that can be hacked by yourself, but you're also being hacked by others, because the programs that were put in you from childhood and the programs that you're still running on that don't suit you and don't fit your life and don't benefit you, this is all because you're being hacked. You're being compromised. Your programs don't suit the reality that you want to live in. So you need to go in and change the programs yourself. Rewire your own mind. And it goes through experiences. So you either rewire your mind with psychedelic substances, or you rewire your mind by physical experiences. Either psychedelic experiences or physical experiences. Either way, you can train your brain. You can literally start to see the world from multiple different points of view, from multiple different states of consciousness, so you can understand what you're actually looking at. So I guess drugs really are just little tiny keys that can allow you to unlock and lock certain parts of your mind. So some molecules are like books, where you take the molecule and you learn a lot, but that's only because the information's all in your mind. We all have all information at all times. Humans don't understand what we are. So the only reason we do not have all information at all times is because right now your soul is in a human body. But when your soul is no longer in the human body, it can understand what it actually is. Now, this is just, I can stream on forever because, like I said, I'm tripping balls. But, I don't know, I was just generally thinking about how drugs is the most interesting topic in my life. I fucking love talking about drugs because I actually know what they are. I actually understand that half of the time when you're taking a drug, it was you. Like, MDMA, Molly, right? You take a lot of Molly and you're rolling. That rolling feeling is you. That's the release of serotonin, and serotonin is a molecule that your brain produces, but MDMA makes your brain release a lot of it at once so you can actually feel what it feels like. We're microdosed on serotonin and DMT and 5-MeO-DMT and dopamine and oxytocin all day long through life, no matter what. And life is learning about how to hack yourself. That's why I've never taken drugs from the doctor. Like, I am all about figuring out me, and a doctor don't know me. No one else knows me like I know me. So I understand that it's about how do you want to fluctuate your molecules in your brain? How do you want to release your dopamine? How do you want to, like, what are you using your dopamine for? A lot of people in this world today are strung out on fucking Adderall, right? I've never used Adderall. I've never done meth. I've never done cocaine because I've never had a need, or I've never seen a reason to even bother with those things. I'm already a fucking motivated person. I'm already a pretty hype and energetic person, right? So, like, I don't really need those type of substances. I use Kratom, but the funny part about Kratom is, like, I'm so not human anymore that I've realized I use Kratom so I can keep myself human. You know, the Buddhist monks talk about sometimes they have an addiction just to keep themselves tethered in the physical world. And it's like I have a Kratom addiction and a family and, you know, and all this other shit just so I can have things that help me be tethered in the physical world because I understand what the world is. I'd fucking float away like a goddamn helium balloon. But, you know, my family keeps me grounded. My goals keep me grounded. Those things keep me focused and whatever, and my addictions keep me grounded. But, like, these are my guilty pleasures of life, you know. I love to have sex, you know. I love to have wild LSD sex with my wife, and we like to explore that aspect of things, and we like to explore the spiritual aspect of things with, you know, psychedelics. And what I realized is I just love to live, and other humans, they're trying so hard to fight what they actually are. Because I don't know if they like who they actually are. Like, I don't really like I mean, I love who I am, but I don't necessarily love the fact that humans are a soul that, you know, is God and we're all one and it's all this other shit and yada, yada, yada. I don't necessarily like that ultimate truth of everything, right? The fact that these aliens right here, right, is human beings. These are just human beings, and we are all human beings because it's all just consciousness. And if aliens look like this, it's because their rock was farther away from their sun. And it's just a very, I say simple, but this is only because I'm tripping balls. So, like, tripping balls, you're able to see reality for what it is, kind of gain information that you would have never been able to gain before, or have understandings that for some reason you know are the truth, but you can't explain to anyone else why you know they're the truth. So you just sound crazy. I sound crazy saying these aliens right here, they're just human beings. It's just more like the future version of ourselves. If we kept evolving and kept, you know, evolving to be perfect, evolving so we can withstand radiation, evolving so we can withstand, you know, all these things, the test of time, so we can remove cancer from our DNA and all this other shit. Eventually we would get to looking like some ugly-ass aliens. So I guess what I'm trying to realize is we are what we are. This is what it is. And nobody likes what it is. So everyone beats around the bush, and the people who have the actual information get looked at like they're crazy, or everyone's just beating around the bush, not really trying to get to the fucking point because they avoid it. But it's out here. Like, fucking Greg Braden talking about human genome number 2 and all these, the information's out there. Humans are not fucking stupid. There is people that know the truth. It's just about breaking it to you guys. That's the problem. And what I mean by you guys, I mean the normal humans in the world that have no idea about anything. It's about getting that information to them without winking their minds to the point where they can't even live a normal human life anymore. Because no matter how much information I gain, I can gain all this information of the universe and understand what I am and life and death and all these dimensions and aliens and whatever the fuck. But I can still take my kids to school and watch movies with them and enjoy the human world and get high and love to fucking have sex and like smoke my fucking weed, and I smoke all goddamn day, and like I still live my human life, and that's my wife right now. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that humans need to still live, even though this information is fucking insane. Don't forget to live your insane life.